This is
Moving on from
crazy.
TV.
To everybody listening now who's a football fan, I'm incredibly sorry that this has taken a mad tangent, and I blame Akeem solely. Okay, let's get back to football and have a quick chat about Manchester City.
Yeah,
Can we stop them?
Yes.
You're not.
In a
You're
nutshell.
very confident. There.
Very confident, 100%. I can tell you why I'm confident.
Yep.
I'm confident because history repeats itself. Last year, the same thing happened. I'm confident because even Manchester United and Chelsea are strong enough to, but even beyond that, I think, believe it or not, I think the chasing pack of, and this is not me saying they're going to win the title, but the chasing pack of Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool are strong enough to win 10 to 15 games in a row at this stage. At this stage, they are. They're all strong enough. Not saying they will. I'm saying they're strong enough to.
Okay.
They're capable of.
Okay.
So, because of that and the frailties still in Man City's team, which people are forgetting of conceding 2 or 3 goals every other game, pretty much at the moment, still means that they're going to be caught out sooner or later. People need to realise a real dominant team, a team that is really dominant and really worrying, is a team that was constantly winning 1-2, 3-0, 4-0, 2-0, 1-0. That Chelsea team was the team that was really scary when Czech didn't even concede a goal for about 6 months. Mm-hmm. That was I remember when I remember so many weird things, Rory, as you could probably realise that. I remember, I think it was the first team to score against you for like 6 months. I think it was 1-1 against Villa.
It was Villa.
You're
absolutely right.
I remember, and I was just like, yes, he scored.
That's an incredible memory. You're absolutely correct. It was the first. Chelsea didn't concede a goal for the first 7 games of the season, and the Sun said the player that scores against Chelsea, the first person to score a goal past Petr Cech, will have, I can't remember how much money it was, but X amount of money to give to a charity of their choosing. And you're right, it was Villa and it was Gabby Bonalhor in a 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge. Yeah. Ridiculous memory from you.
Because that was a really fearful team, because they were so
that team won the league with record points. That team won the league with 95
And don't
points.
get me wrong, Man City have got an incredible attack, a vicious attack. But I still think they'll be found out. And they're not going to be found out enough to be out of the top 4 at the end of the season. Don't get me wrong. They're obviously going to be favourites to win the title. But do I think they're going to win the title? No. And I'll be honest, they're not going to win it.
If they beat... So you're playing them in 3 weeks' time.
Yes.
I would say if they win 2 games up until they play you, and then include it, I think they're playing in Europe as well this week. If they win their 2 league games, and then beat you... then it's a different story.
Well, I'll make it simple. If they go into January 1st, 10 points clear, into double figures, I would say they've probably got the title.
But if it's anything less than double figures...
there's a chance. Because even now, it's 8 points. They could win all the games up to Man United. Man United beat them, it's 5 points. All of a sudden, the game changes. And, and that's what... And let's even flip that round and say, even if that game was a draw and they lost the game leading up from now till Christmas, it's still only 6 points. It's so doable that it's realistic that the second half of the season with 6 point gap, anything could happen. Champions League coming back on, FA Cup coming back on, the League Cup, the real struggle. So I think it's way too early to say. And to be honest, in my heart of hearts, genuinely, I would rather Chelsea win the title than City anyway.
Really? And I can say the same to you. I'd rather City win it rather than you.
Really? Why? Look, can I just say something? But Man United fans don't really care about Chelsea, but Chelsea fans hate Manchester United. I don't know why.
I don't think it's quite as zealous as that. I don't think it's quite as passionate as that. For me, though, Man City just aren't a rival. They're not a rival for Chelsea.
But they are, because they're winning the league.
No, I think you can differentiate between a rival for trophies and a rival. So Leeds United aren't a rival for trophies, but Leeds United are a proper rival. QPR are a proper rival. West Ham are a proper rival.
So why Man United then?
No, Manchester United are a proper rival. There's a history that goes back a long way, and over the years there's been some classic encounters, and there is an antipathy between Chelsea fans and Manchester United fans, and a history of the clubs clashing.
Do you hate them more than Arsenal or Tottenham?
No, I don't hate Manchester United more than Arsenal or Tottenham. No, but they're probably third on that list. And then it would be teams like Leeds who aren't a rival at all. But it's just within me you're taught as a Chelsea fan that you don't like Leeds. You sing about Leeds every week.
Yeah. Well, they might come back up, so they come back up.
But Manchester City aren't that. Yeah. Manchester City, I feel the same about Manchester City as I do about Blackburn Rovers. Manchester City are just better at football than Blackburn Rovers. But